Hello, hello, dear fellow members, dear guests. But actually, we don't have guests. All they are Toastmasters. I want to start my session with a question. Tell me, please, who hadn't been a Toastmaster the evening yet? From our Andrei, from online audience? No. Leonid. Okay. Who wants to learn to lead a session successfully?
I. Say I.
Excepting Leonid. Okay. I want to be honest. Honestly, this is one of my favorite roles in our talk club. Why? Because it implies a lot of talking, interacting with the audience, and sometimes I feel like the fish in the water, and I like to have this alive interaction. And hopefully I'll provide some new information, useful maybe, I don't know. However, I think all of you know, at least you intuitively noticed some details that helps us to be more comfortable here as Toastmaster, to be more educational our meetings and so on. Well, the Toastmaster of the evening, it's a very, very interesting role. Why? Because it implies a lot of planning and coordinating stuff. The Toastmaster of the evening and the general evaluator are some kind of basic roles, because they are responsible to organize all the people, all things related to a meeting. Well, of course, it has a certain plan. We are glad that we have such a outline, of our meetings, and thank you to general evaluators. They are sending a priori the meeting, such a plan for a meeting, which helps us to be more efficient. And these are the skeleton of our Toastmaster role. However, it is good to start with a few basic steps. First of all, sign your role on the platform. It's the beginning point of the meeting. Also, keep in touch with the speakers, because a Toastmaster is responsible to keep in touch with the speakers. Be sure that they are signing as well on the platform. They are writing the title and the project they are following. And also, it is very interesting and useful tip to keep in touch a few times, not just once, with your speakers, and try to ask some details about them in order to make their introduction more interesting, or maybe more personal, to help the audience to get to know better the speakers. Also, the other important step is to keep in touch with the general evaluator. In case you don't have the speaker cancel his speech before, be responsible to find a new speaker before the meeting. That's the Toastmaster responsibility. Well, that's about the basics. Other interesting details. First of all, think about a topic. Sometimes a topic is not compulsory, but it makes more interesting a meeting. What kind of topic? I would advise to be a topic that implies more interaction, to combine fun with educational stuff, in order to be useful and to make an atmosphere. You feel free to choose something big. One wonderful detail of this role is that you can allow yourself to be creative. You are free to choose maybe some posters, some PowerPoint presentation, whatever, and it helps us to develop yourself, your skills, your training skills, your presentation skills, your interaction skills. Okay, we have another participant. Hello. Welcome, Eugenia. And things like that. Another thing very useful: feel free, because the Toastmaster the evening sets the atmosphere in a meeting, and that's wonderful because there's a proper field to develop yourself, your skills, and don't be afraid. That's the
Stitch.
Stitch is a
Shtick.
of the Toastmaster Club.
So close.
Feel free to make mistakes, and we have here a supportive environment and supportive people. Yeah, that's why I want to encourage you to dare to take these roles. Okay, what other interesting details? When let's imagine the meeting is starting. A very important responsible of you as Toastmaster is to announce the way of organization of our meetings. Imagine, put yourself in the place of a guest. He's for first time here. He doesn't know what is going to happen here. That's why our role is very important to introduce, to make a clear expectations. Well, we are going to have 3 sessions. What we are going to do in what first session, in the second, in the third one, the pause we have, what is meant for. Also, after each speaker, when you announce already, you introduce everyone here on the stage, you are responsible to help them to feel comfortable here, yeah? Shaking the hands, encouraging the audience to clap the people. Also, it is very important to announce the 1 minute for the feedback of everyone. In this way, we help everyone to be involved, to feel involved, to contribute with feedback, which is just awesome. Another important moment. This 1 minute implies a coordination with timekeeper. That's why I would advise you to involve timekeeper not just in this minute, in keeping the track of the pause time of each evaluator. Why? Because sometimes the timekeeper forgets to keep the track of the time of evaluators, and it consumes a lot of time. Yeah, by the way, another moment of advantages of the Toastmaster is that it helps you to improve your timekeeping skills, yeah, because we have a time frame for our meetings. That's why it's important to keep the track of time, to save time where it's possible. For example, the last time I want to give thanks to, I think it was Elena Kimenko, I don't know. She gave me a suggestion to ask these interactive questions, just the basic speakers, for example, not everyone. Why? Because it still steals a lot of time, and we don't manage to be on time. But time management is very important. It helps us to keep interaction alive, to avoid being bored, or people they don't get tired, because anyway, more than 2 hours it's difficult to stay alive, and sometimes it might be frustrating. Yeah. That is about some details. I want to, at the end, the Toastmaster is responsible to invite everyone's report and to end with President Rolls, who is ending the meeting. And in this way, we can have a successful meeting. Okay. That's about theoretical moments. I want to have 5 minutes for questions. Ilya.
I have a question / note. What I also consider important for this role is whenever he or she introduces speakers to come on the stage and deliver their speeches, to also mention about the existence of the pathways as the educational system in Toastmasters, and each individual project that the speakers have during their speech. Because this way we, as members, we are aware of other members' preferences in regards to their pathways. we know a bit how much they progressed, what level they have, and which project they have. And also we create awareness for the guests who are here for the first time, because they know in this way that Toastmasters has a structure that you can follow, and it will help you in tracking your progress. And it shows a bit of professionalism.
It's also, I would add there that it helps us to emphasize the educational aspects of our meetings, and also to motivate them, not just to have, we are here to have fun, but also we emphasize the need that they can fulfill their need for self-development and educational development. And I think it's there we have to combine successfully all of these aspects. And also, I have some details here to notice. Here, being a Toastmaster, it's like having a speech, a long speech, which is awesome. And also, a useful tip. Surian has elaborated a transcript for Toastmasters, and I want to remind you guys that it's very useful. Those who are going to be Toastmasters the evening, Eugenio and Leonid, for example, you haven't had this experience before. It helps like outline of you have just to fulfill it with names, with topic, and in other hand, in general, it is you hold the transcript together, which is very helpful. So you can ask the older members to send you this transcript of the Toastmaster role, okay? And for those who want to improve. Yes. Other questions? Come on, from our online.
I have another note.
Yes.
Sorry, I'm being noisy.
No,
not at all.
In the past, some other people had an opinion that the Toastmaster of the evening is not supposed to be the attention catcher of the meeting. Yes, they set the mood, but their mission is to make other people shine. So having, for example, sometimes people come with complex topics of the evening, and they try to explain this topic as much as they can in many details, and it looks like they are trying to deliver a whole complicated speech by putting the speech between rows, between the speakers, between the evaluators, and this takes time as well. And as you said that the Toastmaster of the evening is responsible for respecting the time frame of the meeting, they should also keep this in mind when they choose the topic. How will they present it? Maybe it's an interesting topic, but take it as a separate speech.
Yeah, actually I made these mistakes when I had the first time this role. It was in the Romanian club, and I perceived it like a small training, and afterward I understood that it's not a good choice. It's good to make the skeleton of the meeting, but not to take all the attention, as Elena said. But anyway, choose an interesting topic which will involve everyone somehow as it's possible. Yeah, not everyone, because anyway, the time frame doesn't allow us to involve too many people. And yeah, something curious, something interesting that will make people more involved.
I want to say also, first of all, congratulations for the training. It's really useful and interesting. I want to add something that I really like what you said, related to ask questions only the speakers, maybe sometimes the evaluators, because we need to keep in mind what is important during our meeting. And I think the important part are speakers, because they need to fulfill for example, educational system. And in this way, when we put accent on them by asking a question, for example, only them, we highlight all
the important.
Yes, only the speakers. But during the meeting, we can interact more with audience. I think it's important.
Yeah, don't be afraid to use open questions and it will involve everyone. Okay, that's all from my side. Thank you.